On today's episode of KBB, learn how to inject innovation into your business. Meet a fabulous florist doing things her way and get tips for success from the man behind Airtasker. Hello and welcome to Australia's #1 small business show, Kochie's Business Builders. Great to have your company. Now, NAB recently released a special report, the NAB Labs Innovation Index, to measure innovativeness in Australia based on what a business does differently, more quickly and more cost effectively. And it's pretty good news for small business. The report says small businesses have the most intimate knowledge of their customers, with 7 out of 10 reporting a high level of customer knowledge, which helps when it comes to innovation. Plus, most businesses, 76%, said they were driven by opportunities to deliver a better experience, better service or better product to their customers. But the biggest barrier to innovation or business change for 1 in 2 businesses is just not having enough time to turn their ideas into a reality. So today, we're here to give you some inspiration and tips to make your business the best it can be. We visit the amazing Alexandra Florist to find out their story. Trust me, you can almost smell the flowers through the TV. Then I tackle another one of your business questions. We get success tips from Airtasker and, of course, another great tech tip. Before all that, though, let's kick it off with PodPack, a fantastic coffee pod manufacturer putting innovation at the heart of everything they do. Let's find out how they build that sort of culture. It's official, we're a nation of caffeine lovers, with almost 11 million of us drinking a cup of the good stuff every single day.
So this is where the action happens. This is our warehousing and our production room in here to the left.
Even more surprising is that 3/4 of Australia's annual consumption is instant, generating more than 1 billion coffee pods every day. And serial entrepreneur Toby Strong has jumped on this trend.
So this is our pouching station. So this will count 10 pods and then put them into a pouch, seal it up, and then they move along the conveyor here. We run 2 shifts at the moment, so they come in at about 6 a.m. and finish at about 11 p.m. We make about 150,000 pods during that time each day.
Strong co-founded PodPack, a coffee pod manufacturing business, back in 2012, when he discovered a problem that needed solving.
So it actually started over here in a conversation in a major retail store. So I just happened to be in the store and overheard a couple speaking to the sales assistant. They wanted an espresso machine and they asked, can you box it up and you can put in 100 pods as well to take home? And the sales assistant said, no, sorry, I can't, we don't sell the pods here. And they were dumbfounded. They actually walked away and it was over here in that conversation that I really realised there was a gap in the market. And I wanted to be the first person in Australia to do something about that.
And what have been the steps to get to, what is a magnificent facility now?
So after overhearing that conversation, we just scoured the world for anyone that was producing compatible pods with Nespresso. And it all sort of grew from there. It progressed from importing somebody else's brand to developing our own brand and then eventually setting up a production line in Australia.
So tell us about your innovation strategy back then.
We knew the multinationals were just right on our heels, they were right behind us, and when they came into the market, they were just going to flood the market, huge advertising budgets. To keep ahead of them, we knew we had to produce something that they weren't necessarily thinking of, so that took us on the path of looking into chocolates, which we were the world's first producer of chocolate pods, and then that led to a sugar-free kids beverage as well, so strawberry and honeycomb and iced coffee and all these different types of beverages. So we've always tried to stay a year ahead of the market by releasing something else that nobody else is thinking of.
Real innovation is about a deep understanding, of your customers' requirements, and 7 out of 10 small businesses report a deep understanding of their customers' needs.
Yeah.
How do you, get a feel for your customer needs and implement it?
Nothing beats social media these days for that, and I think that's why small businesses really benefit from monitoring their own social media as well, whereas the big brands out there, they outsource it to an agency that's still disconnected from their customers.
So how do you keep innovating moving forward?
There's a lot of self-development. I think innovation really needs to be driven from the top down to create that innovation culture in a business. So I'm constantly going to business development workshops. The staff are actually quite sick of me going to these workshops because I'll call them afterwards in the car on the way to the office and change everything. There's a lot of new implementations that come from workshops like that. And I just have this, seem to have an unquenchable thirst for learning and action. And I'm not sure exactly where that comes from, but that just keeps things rolling consistently.
We'll be back later to find out how PodPack differentiate themselves in the market. But for now, let's hear some news you can use. Did you know almost 90% of small businesses fail because of poor cash flow? Getting paid on time is a huge part of staying afloat, but it hasn't always been easy. Right now, there is nearly $19 billion locked away in outstanding invoices to business. Plus, Australian small businesses experience some of the slowest payment speeds in the world. The average time it takes for an invoice to be paid in Australia is 26 days late, and different research shows that West Australian businesses are the slowest, waiting an average 4 days after the due date to pay up, whilst Canberra is the fastest at paying invoices, sometimes up to 3 days early. But the right tech can help fast-track your payments and get paid on the go. So don't become another statistic. Get on top of late payments today. After the break, we meet one very successful florist. It's a magical business, but is working with flowers all it's cracked up to be? Find out soon. While you're waiting, check us out on kochiesbiz.com. Alexandra Keast is one amazing florist who has really made a name for herself. And with over 15,000 Instagram followers, she's found the perfect place to showcase her visual portfolio. She also does handwriting and typography, which is fantastic to know that skills like this aren't lost with the advent of new technology. It hasn't always been an easy ride though. So let's sit down with Alexandra and find out the ingredients to her success.
I love working with flowers because I think they really evoke memories, especially when we are creating an event or a wedding. You know, that's the one thing that people cherish, and that's what I love. My parents own a nursery. They're retired now, but they were very hardworking. It was really quite a 24-hour business, so I didn't really know any different. I just knew you had to sort of really get in there and get your hands dirty. Nothing sort of comes easy. So my childhood taught me to love and appreciate nature. I grew up as a little girl running through potted rows of gardenias and grevilleas and my hands in the soil, and I guess that was natural to me. And, failure can happen, and as long as you learn from it. And here, it's dealing with fresh produce that is exposed to all the elements. So if something goes wrong, that's natural, that's nature. I've always thought I wanted to own my own business. I didn't know quite yet what creative medium I wanted to choose, but it's just flowers just sort of captivated me that more so. And then I started Alexandra about 6 years ago. So we cater to weddings and events mostly, and we do corporate clients and occasional sort of bunches here and there. Some of our clients are the QT Hotel in Sydney, so we do their weekly flowers. We also worked with Maya, so we work with them quite often, and we've done just recently their spring-summer show. So our brand values are, being myself, being who I was. The business was based off my name. I wanted sort of to tell my story, to, be authentic and local as well, because our studio here is close to a lot of amazing flower growers in our area. It's a very growing sort of district. So we're able to go direct to the farms rather than actually go to the market. So we actually get to pick a lot with our growers, which is really quite special. We're really lucky. We actually don't go out and sort of find the work, it generally comes to us. We don't really advertise. You know, our biggest accolade would be word of mouth. So, you know, and also the digital world now with Instagram and social media is that we have a beautiful visual portfolio now that we can sort of share our daily activities and our, you know, our work. What I most enjoy about running my own business is, I guess, the teamwork. I love visiting the growers at their farms. They really inspire me. I think they definitely provide us with some incredible species and varieties to choose from. I love hearing their stories. I love the flowers, of course, the flowers, and the different changes in seasons as well. I think Alexandra has been so successful because we've had a lot of support around us. Our local industry has supported us. We've had lots of networking and collaboration, and we're also very adaptable to our briefs. And I think, especially in a digital world that we are in now, you know, platforms like Instagram and social media are allowing us to showcase our portfolio online and our daily activities. And I think that's quite inspiring for people, and it's a nice sort of way of connecting. I tend not to worry about competition too much because our industry is so supportive of each other, and, you know, we often help each other out quite often. But, you know, setting myself apart from others is just developing my skills, you know, evolving and adapting and learning new things and going out there and trying things and, you know, going against traditional concepts or, you know, arranging. My advice to other entrepreneurs is everyone sort of has a natural ability. So I think it's sticking with that natural ability that you have and, you know, your intrigue and your spark, and just staying on that road and believing in yourself and being confident. The most rewarding part of our job is definitely the end result, the finale. It's a sense of celebration. You know, you're able to stand back and look at the work that you've created, and it's a proud moment. So it's definitely a happy moment. Flowers make people happy.
Coming up, I answer one of your business questions. Plus, we all learn another handy tech tip. For more great advice and inspiration, be sure to join our newsletter at kochiesbiz.com. Stay tuned. We have 20 fantastic coffee prize packs from Podista, including a coffee machine, chocolate and coffee pods for a year worth more than $500 each. To enter, simply visit kochiesbiz.com.au. Earlier in the show, we sat down with Toby Strong, a coffee pod manufacturer in South Australia pioneering the way. He shared his tips on how to stay constantly innovating in a hugely competitive market, and has a few more gems to share.
So this is our R&D room. So this is where it really starts, where we get our green beans in. We put them through this mini roaster first. We get our blends right before we take it to the large roaster out there.
So how are you differentiating yourself from the competition?
Look, it's hard with coffee. You're dealing with the coffee beans that are available to everyone in the world. So what we try and do is innovate and add our little touches of uniqueness to it. So we've recently launched a double shot pod. So we've actually taken these coffee beans and we've added guarana to double the caffeine content of the pod. So little things like that are just keeping us ahead of the competition.
Double shot sounds like something I should try. So Toby, you've had incredible growth, you know, in your first 4 years of business. Who have been your key business partners that have helped you get to where you are now?
We've been incredibly lucky to get the major retailers on board very early, and it's because of that innovation, because we could offer products that nobody else was offering, that we were able to do that. So they've definitely been great partners to accelerate the growth. Beyond that, our suppliers, you know, we always try and source products locally in SA. If we can't find it in SA, Australia, and then only if we really can't find it in Australia, then we go, we look for overseas. And beyond that, NAB have been a huge supporter of ours from day one. And at a time when a lot of manufacturing was leaving Australia as well, we had that support. We were actually wanting to bring manufacturing to Australia, which we were being advised against by a lot of people. So that support early on really helped us out.
All right, so what are your tips for small business to stay ahead of the pack?
Just try and weave innovation into every aspect of your business. It doesn't have to be just a product. You know, every part of your business you can innovate. And also take the hard road as well. So for us, manufacturing chocolate pods is an absolute nightmare. So the chocolate dust just gets in all our sensors and our efficiency just really nosedives. but it's a real barrier of entry for other manufacturers to try and copy us and do that. So even though it's difficult, it still keeps us ahead of them. So
You're obviously a natural entrepreneur. You've got an unbelievable business here. Really appreciate your time and look forward to catching up in the future.
thanks for coming down.
Cheers.
Didn't that pod factory look just amazing? Toby shared some great advice about making sure innovation is in all aspects of your business, not just the products. And PodPack has done a fantastic job of staying ahead of the competition. It's all about being one step ahead of the big guys and being nimble and adaptable when it comes to new ways of working. Great stuff there.
Hi there, my name's Tim Fung. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO at Airtasker. Airtasker is an online and mobile marketplace, and we connect people and small businesses with a workforce all across Australia who can help you with anything like tasks around the home, cleaning, gardening, handyman jobs, through to things that can help your small business like website design and photography, and all the way up to helping big companies scale their workforces. This year we're going to be turning over $50 million, and we have over 800,000 people across Australia in our community. My tips for success are, number one, focus on your unique selling proposition. Be really true to what you do best as a company and make sure you're always focused on that. Number two, in business, you're going to be kissing a lot of frogs. You're going to be working with a lot of people, but Australia is a really small place, so make sure you don't burn any bridges. Number three, you're going to get a lot of advice from people in the startup community about what's best for your business and what you should be focusing on. So make sure you digest that information, articulate it, and only follow what you think is smart. And my last tip is, make sure you be like a boss. Do what you're good at and outsource the rest. Thanks a lot.
Coming up, I answer one of your business questions. Plus, we all learn another handy tech tip. For more great advice and inspiration, be sure to join our newsletter at kochiesbiz.com. Stay tuned. Have you signed up to Small Business First? It's the new online community getting you great deals, helping you save time and have a say in your future. Join thousands of other small business owners for free at smallbusinessfirst.com.au. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Thank you all for watching today. How great was Alexandra, who said she just rolls up her sleeves and gets things done. Small business owners know the value of hard work more than anyone else, I reckon. And we're goers, we're doers. Now, before we go, I have to answer a great question from one of our viewers. And we have another super tech tip from Mr. Tech himself, Val Quinn.
Australian small to medium-sized businesses are currently owed $26 billion, which greatly impacts cash flow and operations, according to the 2016 Late Payment Report. This has forced 25% of small businesses to take on loans or use credit to cover their expenses, compounding their debt problems and even forcing some to close. Now, new smartphone app Collect More has been created to help small businesses wanting a solution. Businesses can enter information about the debt and they're given advice about what to do about it. Owners are often reluctant to call outstanding clients and are able to use the app to create a personalized call script, helping give them confidence to collect the money that's owed.
Hello, welcome back to the Man Cave and Ask Kochie, where we answer your tricky business questions. Today's question comes from Sam Kurikawa. Let's see what it is.
Hi Kochie, Sam Kurikawa here from GiveGet, the Services Exchange. I have a burning question for you, and that is, when you're new in business and you really need to start bringing in revenue, how do you balance finding the right clients for your business and your community and balance that with the temptation of not just taking on anybody who's willing to pay you cash? Thank you so much.
Oh, Sam, thanks for sending in that question. Every business owner faces that. How do you get the very best customers? And if they're not so good, should you turn them away? As a new business, it can be difficult to say no to clients, and that's completely understandable. Most businesses are willing to take anyone who comes through the door with money in their hand. But for a service business, a real balance is required between finding the right customer and generating enough revenue to keep you going and growing, to keep the cash flow happy. Now, trying to be everything to everyone means you'll end up doing too many things and not very well. The key lies in identifying your primary customer, your ideal customer. Define your dream client. Anyone with a credit card is not an answer here, so you've got to narrow it down. What are their demographics? Their age, their gender, their job, location, salary, where do they shop, what do they read, how do they buy, why do they buy, what are their interests, likes, passions and social group. Getting as much detail here will help you focus on providing a fantastic niche service to people who are interested. Because if you're targeting your marketing efforts to the right group of potential customers, it's likely you won't have to actually turn many of them away. So it's all in the marketing. And don't worry, you won't need a huge budget either. Whether you choose word of mouth, digital marketing, social media, or a combination, concentrate on your specific market. Facebook, for example, allows you to target posts to people based on their likes, interests, and location. Rewarding existing customers for referring friends through word of mouth can work absolute wonders. And why not offer discounts or giveaways to clients who refer a friend successfully? This is a great tactic to attract similar clients to the ones you already have and to give a bonus or reward to your existing customer, make them feel special. Check out our digital marketing agency, KBB Digital, kbbdigital.com.au. These guys can help with web design, social media and SEO to make sure your business is being seen online by the eyes that count, and they cater specifically for small business. That's all for this week. Thanks for your question. Hopefully it goes well, and I'll catch you all next week. Coming up next week, an Olympic swimmer dives into a new business using social media. We put donut time in the spotlight and get great success tips from Guzman and Gomez. Hey, thanks for dropping by the KBB YouTube channel. If you want a whole lot more where this came from, press the subscribe button and it will open a Pandora's box of great videos that not only are educational, full of great advice, but also really inspiring. Just what we need as small business owners.